All right, so welcome to the Cowboys Versus Ninjas podcast. You guys sent us some awesome flash fiction, and well, we thought it would be fun to sort of break them down with you.
Yeah, Shadows and Spurs and Jurassic Frontier. I mean, talk about a wild mix, right? So we've been really get into what makes these stories work, what makes them grab you.
Okay, let's kick things off with Shadows and Spurs. So picture this. A dusty, deserted ghost town. You can practically hear the wind whistling through those abandoned buildings, and it becomes this battleground for like a generations-long feud. What really hooked us right away was this clash of worlds. You've got the Wild West, all grit and gunsmoke, colliding with this like almost mythical Eastern tradition.
Right, and it's all personified in these two main characters, the gunslinger, this icon of the American frontier, going up against a ninja, a figure steeped in Eastern lore. I mean, it's not just a physical showdown. It's like these two cultures are going head to head.
Totally. And right at the heart of it all is Silas Ironhand Graves. But he's not just any gunslinger. He's like the gunslinger the deadliest the West has ever seen. And that name, Ironhand, it hints at something more, something heavy, like a connection to a past he can't shake. Makes you wonder, what kind of past forges a man like that?
Right, and then you've got Jiro Kagemura, a name that just screams stealth and like deadly precision. He's the last of his clan, and the Shadow Moon clan, so he's carrying the weight of his entire lineage on his shoulders. He's not just out for personal revenge. He's got to avenge his father and restore his clan's honor. It raises some interesting questions about the power of tradition, doesn't it? Like, how far would someone go to uphold it?
And the stage for this whole showdown, Dead Creek. Even the name sounds ominous, this forgotten, desolate town. It's the perfect setting for a confrontation this intense, this personal. So we've got Silas with his trusty revolver, the weapon of the West, all about speed and decisive action going up against Jiro and his twin Katana, these blades that represent like pure skill and mastery in close combat. Imagine that visual. Gunpowder and lead versus cold, hard steel.
And the way they fight, too. Think about it. Silas is known for his lightning-fast draw. That's his claim to fame. But then you have Jiro, who's practically a ghost, moving like a shadow, getting close before you even know he's there. It makes you wonder, can pure speed really stand up against that kind of precision and stealth?
It's a great question, right? I mean, we all know Silas is fast, but Jiro's practically invisible. It makes you think, is raw power enough, or is it more about strategy and using the element of surprise? Different approaches to fighting, but both deadly in their own way.
For sure. It's not always about brute force, is it? Sometimes it's about outsmarting your opponent, being one step ahead.
All right, hold on tight because we're switching gears completely. You guys also sent us into the wild, wild world of Jurassic Frontier.
Oh yeah, this one's a total game changer. The premise is just pure gold. Imagine the Wild West, but hidden somewhere in those canyons and mesas is a valley where dinosaurs still roam free. It's like, what happens when cowboys meet creatures straight out of prehistory? The possibilities are mind-blowing.
Exactly. And instead of the gold rush, you've got yourself a dinosaur gold rush. At the heart of this crazy adventure is Colt Deadeye Dalton. He's a retired gunslinger trying to hang up his hat, you know. But then this lost world gets discovered in a place called Devil's Gulch. Some people just can't escape trouble, can they?
Nope, it seems to find them. And when you make a discovery like that, especially in the lawless Wild West, it's going to attract all kinds of characters, not all of them good. I mean, think about the allure of the unknown, the potential for profit, the possibility of taming these incredible beasts. It's a recipe for chaos.
Talk about a recipe for chaos. And the characters who come flocking. We've got Victor Slade, your classic ruthless railroad baron. But he doesn't see these dinosaurs as, like, wonders of nature. He sees dollar signs, potential weapons to expand his empire. It's a pretty stark commentary on, like, unchecked ambition, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of mirrors that historical reality, too. Remember, the railroad was this huge force in the West, and there was a lot of, well, let's say, less than ethical practices going on to gain an edge over the competition. So the idea of weaponizing dinosaurs, while fantastical, it fits into that theme of power and greed, right? It makes you think about how even, like, the coolest scientific discovery can be twisted for personal gain.
And then there's Scarlet Reyes, the outlaw queen of the Crimson Vultures. Now, her ambition is straight up legendary. She wants to be the outlaw who rode a T-Rex. Gotta admire her guts, even if it's completely bonkers.
Oh, she's definitely going for the spectacle, right? It's that larger-than-life image of the Wild West outlaw, but taken to the extreme. It's not just about power for her. It's about etching her name and legend, doing something no one's ever done before. Makes you think about that human need to be remembered, to push the limits, even if it means riding a freaking T-Rex.
And then things get even more complicated because, of course, they do when the U.S. Army marches in, led by General Elias Graves. On paper, they're there to secure the area, investigate, all that. But you get the sense he might have his own agenda, maybe seeing this dinosaur valley as some kind of strategic asset. It's a whole new level of power dynamics, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about individual greed anymore. It's about national interest, the possibility of these creatures becoming pawns in a much bigger game. It raises the stakes considerably, doesn't it?
But it's not just the newcomers shaking things up. We've also got White Feather, a wise Comanche tracker. And he brings a totally different perspective. For him, this valley isn't some resource to be exploited, it's sacred. And he understands that messing with the balance of nature can have serious consequences. He's like the voice of reason in all this madness.
Right. He's a reminder that there are other ways of looking at the world, ways that value respect and harmony over, just taking what you can. It makes you think, what happens when we ignore that ancient wisdom? Especially when we're dealing with something as powerful as dinosaurs.
And of course, we can't forget Dr. Horace Lynch, your classic mad scientist, ethically questionable, the whole shebang. And he claims to have figured out how to control the dinosaurs. You just know that's going to end well, right?
Oh yeah, the mad scientist is like a warning sign, right? It's about the danger of unchecked ambition, the idea that technology can go too far, especially when you're dealing with something as unpredictable as prehistoric life. What do you think about that idea? Like, humans trying to control forces that are way beyond their understanding.
So here we are. You've got the railroad, the outlaws, the army, the native tribes, and a rogue scientist, all circling these incredible creatures, each with their own agenda. It's a powder keg just waiting to explode, and of course, things go haywire big time.
Yeah, it's like that old saying, man plans and God laughs. You can try to control things, but sometimes nature just has other ideas.
We're talking full-blown dino chaos, dinosaurs break free, raptors stalking through canyons, pterodactyls owning the skies, a T-Rex turning a frontier town into splinters. It's like the Wild West just got a prehistoric upgrade, and those cowboys are way out of their depth.
The imagery is so vivid, right? You've got those classic Western landscapes, the dusty saloons, the wide open spaces, and then suddenly you've got these prehistoric behemoths thrown into the mix. It really forces you to rethink who's really in charge in that world.
And the whole thing culminates in this insane train heist. But they're not after gold. They're trying to steal a caged Spinosaurus, the king of the dinosaurs. And the final showdown. It all goes down on top of a moving T-Rex as the train's heading for a collapsed bridge. I mean, you couldn't make this stuff up.
It's like pure action movie magic, right?
Yeah.
The stakes couldn't be higher, and that image of them fighting on a T-Rex while the train's about to go off the rails. It's just pure, unadulterated fun.
And in the end, nature kind of wins, right? Like a reminder that you can't control everything. Colt and some others managed to escape, but the legend of this dinosaur valley, well, that's going to stick around for sure.
Yeah, it's like the dinosaurs expose the folly of human ambition, right? They're a force that can't be contained. What do you think the story's saying about our place in the grand scheme of things? Like, how do we reckon with the power of the natural world?
So there you have it. Two wildly different stories, but both packing a serious punch. Shadows and Spurs, with its clash of cultures and personal vendettas, this fight for honor and revenge in a classic Western setting, it really makes you think about how far we'll go for what we believe in and the consequences of those actions.
It's a very focused story, right? But it touches on these universal themes: duty, revenge, the weight of tradition. It makes you wonder, can there ever be a real winner in a fight like that?
And then Jurassic Frontier, where the Wild West gets a prehistoric makeover. It's pure escapism, but it also raises some interesting questions about, our relationship with nature, the limits of our control, and the consequences of messing with things we don't fully understand.
It's a wild ride, for sure, but it makes you think about the hubris of humanity, doesn't it? Like trying to tame the untamable. The clash of six-shooters and dinosaurs, it's a perfect image of that struggle.
So what stood out to you guys? What resonated more? The personal duel in Shadows and Spurs, or the crazy, over-the-top action of Jurassic Frontier? What makes these stories so addictive? And where else could these ideas go? What other wild combinations can you imagine?
Exactly. These stories are proof that you can take familiar elements, add a twist, and create something totally fresh and exciting. It's all about imagination, right? And exploring those timeless themes in new and unexpected ways.
We hope this gave you some food for thought, about what makes a story click. And if you're craving more tales of gunslingers and, well, maybe a few dinosaurs thrown in for good measure, be sure to rate and follow the Cowboys Versus Ninjas podcast for more epic adventures.